Do you ever get confused when aligning things in CSS?
Yeah. Boom. Greetings from YouTubeville once again. Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Still got a headache, but not as bad as earlier. If you like the video, sub and subscribe. It don't cost a dime. All right, listen. This is Dallas Mock Draft 75.0. So I'm not saying this is what I would do. We can't talk about the same players. If you want to tune into a channel to talk about Austin Gentry every single day, this is not it. So if I talked about the same players, it would be boring because it's the 19th at 17:12 hours, and we're at 75 mock drafts already. Also, you can like the order, the way these guys came out in the mock, it's going to be completely different. It's funny, bro. I love, wait a second. Love being that guy, bro. I love it. Because you got the so-called professionals, the Jeremiahs, the Kuipers, the McVeys. Now they're saying the running back class is generational. I said that in September, man. Guys are playing catch up. Now, those same guys are saying the defensive end and defensive tackle class is the most ridiculous talent they've ever seen. Everyone's predicting 30 to 35 defensive tackles and defensive edges, a combination of 30 to 35 edges and D tackles to go in the first 3 rounds. They're predicting like 12 to 14 defensive linemen, if not higher, round 1. Ironic, man. And I said that so long ago. What do I know, right? Also, too, I view people differently. So this is just a mock, but when I rank my people, my rankings are going to be differently. Like, I'm sorry, Abdul Carter's a linebacker. No, he's Micah 2.0, bro. And if anybody wants to argue with me, watch the first 3 games of this past season. He got shut down because he's getting chipped by, he's playing up against bigger offensive tackles. He's getting chipped by tight ends, running backs. They flip him back to linebacker. 10 sacks. This other kid's probably a little controversial. Jalen Walker. I'm just going to say defensive player, Georgia. Follow me, people. 6'2", 245. Going to list him as a linebacker / edge. 61 tackles and 6.5 sacks. And Georgia rotates their edges a lot. Rotates their D-line a lot. When I do my final rankings, he's going to be in my linebacker class because he's not a full-time edge. They're saying 6'2". Combine starts next week. We're gonna find out. He's probably like 6'1". But I don't care. He has crazy. He he'll be off the board by pick 15. So, but in my rankings, he's going to be a linebacker. He's probably linebacker 3. I got Abdul Carter 1. Uh, Abdul Carter 1. The Alabama kid. I have a million different names in my head. At 2, and I probably have Jalen Walker at 3. So he's probably the Alabama kid is uh, Muhammad. He's like 6'4", 250. He's my number 2 linebacker. And Jalen Walker's going to be a linebacker. I'm sorry. Have we learned nothing with the Micah Parsons of the world? Listen, unless you're like the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Baltimore Ravens, bro, go ahead, draft this kid. And he's going to play outside linebacker. There's no problem, bro. This kid can fly. He's gonna run a sub 4.4 at the combine next week, and he's gonna fly up the boards. But it's a crazy edge class, and like I said, everyone's gonna view him differently, especially the NFL head coaches, coordinators. Still the best beard on YouTube. In my book, he's a linebacker. Like I said, people, this is not how I'm saying I would draft. This is mock draft 75.0. I can't just talk. If you go to the other channels, you'll hear Austin Gentry every single channel. This is every single draft. This is not this is the wrong channel for that. Okay, pick 44. And this kid won't be there. He won't be there. Omarion Hampton, running back, University of North Carolina, 6 foot 220, had pretty much identical 2024 and 2020. He's 6 foot 220, played on a horrible team. They had one decent lineman, Lumpkin, but he's like 5'11, 270. But I don't know, man. Some team might give that kid a shot, man. So legit, he had 2 similar seasons of like 1,660 yards and 15 touchdowns. And then last year, he also added 38 catches for 373 yards. My opinion, good afternoon, Charlene. That explains your headache from earlier. You have so many draftees in your head at one time. Pretty much, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Hampton gets past the Redskins at, I think, 28. I think the Redskins pick. I would be shocked. I don't think he won't be there at 44 when Dallas picks. He won't. It is what it is. But like I said, the strength of this draft is defensive tackle, edge, running back, tight end, safety, and those are the positions you should be looking at. Like I said, I'm going to say names that are going to get drafted on first day and second day that are drafted later. But like I said, we're talking about different. Here's a kid at 76. I told you, you're going to hear him next week. You're going to hear him blow up at the combine. Jalen Royals, tight end, Utah State. 6 foot 205. He only had 56, had kind of a down year, a little bit nicked up. He's 56 catches for 834 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now 2023, he almost had 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. This kid is a straight blazer. Guys are going to hate me. I still say he's probably a day 3 guy. That's how talented the other positions are. You can get a speedster wide receiver on day 3 all day long to stretch the field. That's my opinion. Next kick pick is 150 because we don't have a fourth unless they throw a comp out. This kid's going to go faster than this. Elijah Roberts, defensive end, SMU. Now he's an edge, and he's 6'4", 290. Bro, legit. 7.5 sacks in 2024, and in 2023, he had 9.5 sacks. So there's a kid who he's leaving. You can leave him at edge or slide him inside to tackle. But if you have a kid that size, that's that athletic to get to the quarterback, leave him at edge. Your SMU has 3 legit D linemen, and I've given you all of them already. Next kid, I don't even see this kid lasting this late. I don't, but no one's talking about him. Ironically, it's the same school, SMU. Running back, Bashard Smith, 5'10", 200 pounds. Now, there's a story. Story time. The last 3 years, he was at the U at wide receiver. In 2023, I think Miami went through like 4 different quarterbacks. He's like, I'm out of here. So he transfers to SMU, and SMU's like, put on some weight. We're going to put you at running back. He ripped off 1,350 yards and 14 touchdowns. And that's a kid you can play around with the defenses by, throwing him out wide. He's not going to have a problem coming out of the backfield. He has good hands. He won't be. I would be shocked if he's on the board at 170, in my opinion. Like I said, we're talking about different players because it's April 19th and we're 75 mock drafts in. So I try to do like 1 mock a week. Last week I gave you like 2, but leave it at 1 a week. Once we get closer, I'll be pumping out 3, 4 a day. And I there's ways I do to spice them up. 172 pick 172, defensive tackle, JJ Pegues, Old Miss. He ain't going to beat at 172. Not a chance in the world, bro. 6'2", 325. And you're going to laugh, man. 42 tackles, and he has a little bit of a burst. 42 tackles, 3.5 sacks, but his pressure rate is like crazy high. He's not going to be that 172. I can't help what the machine gives you. You know what I'm saying? But he won't be there. But like I said, don't reach for other positions when certain positions are the strengths. Kind of common sense. Next kid, defensive tackle again. Let's be honest. Dallas doesn't have a defensive line, people. Sam Williams is coming off a torn knee. We don't know what we're going to get. Maxi Pad is Maxi Pad. And I'll still say Michael Parsons is a linebacker. Or he's a situational pass rusher. I do not want to see Michael Parsons at edge for 3 downs. I want to see Michael Parsons moved all over the field and then put him hand down be like a 3rd down situational pass rusher and move him around every single play so you can't chip him. Bro, come on, bro. But then, same thing to him. And I'm not sticking up for him. Trust me, I'm not, man. Because even LT called him out, man. And when LT, no joke, and I hate the Giants, but despise the Giants. As a kid, you got to realize, these kids are privileged. The amount of football that's on TV. When I was a kid, you got 2 games. That's it. There was no Sunday night football. There was no Thursday night football. It depended where you live, what games you got. So there was no direct TV. So I was lucky enough to watch the Giants, who I hate, and the Jets play every single game. Micah Parsons ain't no LT, man. That's a fact. Pick 174, defensive tackle from Florida State, Joshua Farmer, 6'3", 325. Yo, he has some spunk too. Two pretty much identical seasons between 2023 2024. My personal opinion, he started 2024 off a little slow because if you go back up, he had 2 seasons in a row, 32 tackles, a 5-sack season and a 4-sack season. But if you go to the first, and like this is why you shouldn't judge somebody off of one game, but he started off slow. If you go back to that first game, Florida State versus Georgia Tech in Ireland, the whole Florida State defensive line looked gross, gross, legit. Like Georgia Tech's quarterback scored like 3 touchdowns on quarterback sneaks. Marvin Jones Jr., Patrick Payton, those are edges. I think I'm like 99% sure they stayed in. They're like, oh, we have any time left? Let's stay back. You know what I'm saying? So 6'3", 325. Let's be honest, bro. Dallas doesn't have a defensive line at all. Next kid, pick 190. He's he started 4 years at UConn. 6'8", 310, Chase Lunt. Ironically, was a 0-star. After the C word, he went to UConn. And how would ironic be? Like Dallas takes a chance on this kid like day 3. He's a late day 3 to me because a 4-year starter. He's 6'8", 310. He's flexible enough where he sinks the hips. Me personally, but you see, this is the difference. This is like a 5th or a 6th round pick. And now my headache's coming back. But I think this kid is athletic enough to play left tackle. But it's a big difference with trying out a 6th round pick to say, yo, man, go get some reps at left tackle during practice versus drafting, Tyler Guyton in the 1st round and be like, yeah, Tag, you're it. You only started 13 games at offensive tackle in your career at 2 separate colleges. Tyler Guyton went to Texas Tech, then Oklahoma. He's a right tackle to me, man. And if he fails at that, I would be, it would bother me a little bit. Not really, but it would, because he was my 5th ranked O tackle, but I had him ranked as a right tackle. That's why you have no idea how many times you can do the best of your abilities and organizations just ruin people. I'm not saying Dallas is ruining people because it was just stupid. They just thought the Tyron Smith thing was going to work 2.0. I'm telling you, man, the people that run the draft room in Dallas, they definitely ate paint chips, man, a lot. Next kid, he's all combine. It's going to be his medicals. Raheem Rocket Sanders, bro. 2022, man. And you're going to laugh. He was called Darren McFadden 2.0. So he was at Arkansas. Yo, in 2022, he had like 1,500 yards and 15 TDs. 2023, heard his name. All right. 6 foot 230. That's a big kid. But he still has that Darren McFadden upright, like running. It's weird. Like Eric Dickerson had that. Garrison Hurst, Tyler. I'm trying to think, man. It's a weird. They run like a tree. It's just a weird look. So he hurt his knee, had like 200 yards in 2023. Transfers, jumps in the portal. He transfers to South Carolina. He had 881 yards and 11 touchdowns. Listen, whether he gets drafted or not, it's going to be what the combine finds with his knee, and then also what your doctors think of him, of his knee. Because let me tell you something. If he doesn't get drafted and he's an undrafted free agent, bro, that could be the steal of the draft. If his knee is okay, and if is the biggest word there is. You know what I'm saying? It really, really is. He's going to come down to a combine check. You know what I'm trying to say? It's pissing me off. I can't think of the. Jihad Campbell. He's my linebacker too. My linebacker 1, Abdul Carter. Jihad Campbell 2. He's 6'4", 250, and he's a monster for Alabama. And 3 is Jalen Walker from Georgia. They're linebackers to me. They're not edges. I'm sorry. That's just me. Hey, it is what it is. This kid could be the steal of the draft. It all comes down to what your medical is going to say about him. 2022, this kid was projected to be like a top 10 pick, man. He legit. They called him, Rocket Sanders, and they called him Darren McFadden 2.0 because he just ran like a tree. And he's 6 foot 230. So it all depends what your doctors say. As crazy as this sounds, Larry Allen, best guard ever, wasn't even on a lot of teams' draft boards. He got stabbed in a fight. I mean, he is from Compton, bro. But he had issues with his shoulder. So a lot of teams just took him off the board. They're like, oh, we want to touch him. And Jerry Jones drafted him in round 2, Sonoma State. That's why, if I was those 31 other teams and my doctor looked at him and said no, pass on him, they'd be getting their ass fired, man. Next kid is pick 249. This kid's not going to be there. Not. Another defensive tackle, Tim Smith, defensive tackle, Alabama. 6'4", 315. He's just a hurricane in the middle. He had 8 tackles all year and like 3.5 sacks. His job is to keep the guards and offensive tackles off of the linebackers. 6'4", 315. And I'm sure he can put on some more weight. Listen, the majority of the defensive linemen I gave you, they're going to get drafted before the skilled positions I gave you, except Hampton. I don't see Omari and Hampton getting past the Redskins. At the Redskins, I start to see the running backs start flying off the board. That's my opinion. What do I know? I mean, Redskins are a couple of offensive linemen and a running back away. So, and Hampton won't be there for him in round 2, by the start of round 3, Let's say the end of round 3. I see at least 15 running backs, if not more. I see at least 15 running backs drafted in the first 3 rounds. And it's ironic, all these cornballs with toupees saying, oh, this running back class is generational. I don't like that word. But all summer, I said the strength of this class was the running back position. And then, and D tackle and edge. And now they're all playing catch up. I love being that guy. Listen, man, like I said, okay, today was Dallas Mock 75.0. Gave you a sleeper this morning. Tomorrow, I have another crazy sleeper, bro, that he's on. It's amazing. He's not, everyone thinks Dane Brugler is like a god and walks on water. He's not. His breakdowns are fabulous. He goes back to high school. I'll give him that. But he also never played a single down. He never played sports. And he does this, like he does a hell of a lot more than I do, put it that way. So I put out 7. I'm at 701. I'll probably get to 750. He puts out about 1,400, 1,500. Listen, everybody's not going to have the same opinion of somebody. Would I say we agree maybe 80%, 75% on people? Yeah. But the other people, I got to be different. That's why last year there was 2 positions in my top 10 that I put guys, and they didn't even get drafted. They were undrafted free agents, and they went on to be priority free agents and start numerous games. What do I know, man? Listen, bro, like I said, tomorrow I'll drop another video. Saturday, we got the Legacy Bowl. That's the HBCU. That's the last bowl for the season. If any other bowls, I don't know. I had stew, bro, in a long time. I miss my mom, bro. Saturday's the Legacy Bowl, so then we got the HBCU. Then I believe the 27th starts the combine. And then once that's over, I'm going to start coming out with my rankings. Can't call me a copy and paste champion. Also, you got to sub and subscribe to the Fiscal Report. Gerard, he usually comes out like Wednesday or Thursdays with his channel. Got Cowboys Corner. He comes out usually on Saturday nights, talking crazy. Everyone's invited. Don't be a douche. You got Fifth Quarter Cowboys. He comes on Mondays and Fridays. We got Cowboys Champs. He's an OG. Puts out good stuff. Cowboys Fiend. We got 1980s Cowboys dropping legit stuff. Then we got Eshawn, Hollywood's newest up-and-coming producer. And now my headache is back. Dun, dun, dun. To watch more film or not? Yeah, I will. I admit it. And it's it could be a good thing. If you do it towards positive ways, it is. But I'm an extremist, bro. And I love being that guy that proves the so-called pros wrong. We all know when you rock with the gWo for life. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in.